I would not have parents anymore.
Like,
That
like we would be killed
Yeah,
to it, or we would
killed.
never come back.
Yes,
Okay.
dead. That was my biggest fear, is that I would wake up one day and I would get a call that both of my parents were deceased.
Yeah.
And that fear lingered for so long, and it stayed with me because it was just a bunch of what ifs. What if this happened?
Yeah.
What if that happened? And it tore me up from the inside out. And just the thought of losing both your parents, no child should have to think about that. At the earliest age of 7, I was thinking about that at the age of 7. No 7-year-old should have to think, well, what if my mommy and daddy die? Because from what I've seen from my mom, she was going down a path where it was like, will she ever get out of that? Will she ever recover? Will she ever snap out of that? And to think about that now, as I'm sitting here as an almost 18-year-old, that's a hard pill to swallow. Thinking about that, and it's really changed me. It really has.
What's up, my people? What's up, my babies? What's up, my loves? It's your boy, Ronnie LeDuff, back in the building with another episode of Built by the Red Stick. But before we go any further, I'm so excited about this episode, I can't talk. Before we go any further, take a listen to a word from our sponsors. And this episode is brought to you by Rayville Recovery Treatment Center. Rayville is about an 80-plus bed facility in North Louisiana, just about 3 hours north of Baton Rouge. It's the number one co-occurrence residential treatment facility in the state of Louisiana. If you're struggling with mental health, if you're struggling with alcohol or drug abuse, give my people at Rayville Recovery a call. The number is 318-728-5488, and tell them I sent you. And I know you probably like, well, I want to get help, but that's 3 hours away. Don't trip. They got you. They will come pick you up. They will transport you all over from the state of Louisiana. I'm talking all four corners, even the central. They coming to get you. Admission is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you got to do is call that number, 318-728-5488. And then you probably like, well, I want to get some help, but I don't have insurance. Don't trip. They got you. They even take uninsured people for help. No man or woman left behind. Call my beautiful people at Rayville Recovery today. Again, that number is 318-728-5488. Rayville Recovery. Recovery redefined. The journey starts with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This episode is very, very, very near and dear to my heart. I have the pleasure of sitting down with my oldest baby. She just recently graduated from high school. She was the first woman to steal my heart unconditionally. July 29th, 2007, my life changed for the better. We have Naya Noopy LeDuff in the Built by the Red Stick building. Let's give her a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this episode.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. Look at her, y'all. She just a little lady. She just did grew up. And so this episode probably be emotional, certain things that we are going to talk about are things that we have already talking about before privately and that we discuss being comfortable talking about on camera. More importantly, we just want to give you a voice and kids like you that has suffered the consequences of having parents, addicted to drugs. So, I kind of just want to open it up, kind of let people know who you are. Like, I know you ain't all the way there yet,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You still got a lot of living to do, but just kind of like who you are, what you got going on, and, what's going to be your major in college and all that good stuff.
So, hi, my name is Naya. I am his daughter, of course. I just recently graduated high school from Livonia High School. I plan on going to BRCC to get my associate's degree and then transfer to Southeastern. I plan on being a social worker. I want to help kids who are in bad situations and get them out of them.
And that's perfect. That's right. That's so perfect. And so, a lot of the times I tell people, I kind of let them know when I was on drugs, like I stayed away, right? On purpose, which has haunted me as an adult because I feel like I neglected y'all, or I feel like it was certain things that happened that I could have prevented, but I didn't want y'all to see me like that. And unfortunate that you seen more of it, on from your mom than you did from with me. And so kind of like now that you're older, like what kind of mind space was you in, like not having your father and hearing the stories about me, or then seeing your mom like that, like what did it do to you?
It gave me abandonment issues for sure. It showed me that, not having a parent around can definitely affect you as a person. Like, I felt abandoned. I felt like um, y'all weren't ever going to get better. And that to me was just, it hurt because, seeing your parents like that, no child wants to see their parent like that. And you staying away, it affected me because I was like, why isn't my dad here, Even though I didn't know what you were doing, but I saw what my mom was doing and I was just like, he's doing the same thing and that's why he's staying away. And it just showed me like, well, if my dad left me, then who else can leave me? And it kind of gave me a sense of, like I started looking for attention elsewhere, like from male teachers and from any male in my life. I was like, well, if my dad didn't give me that kind of attention, who can? So shout out to Mr. Osborne. He was my sixth grade English teacher. He really helped me and he really showed me like somebody does care and somebody will be there for you when you need it.
Shout out Mr. Osborne. I didn't even know this. I have to get in touch with you, Mr. Osborne. Take you to lunch or something one day. Um, and so what was other than Mr. Osborne and things like that, what were some of the like coping mechanisms that you would use to like try to hide the hurt, not hide the hurt, but try to help with the hurt? Like who else could you reach out to and talk to?
I could always talk to Mimo. We
Shout
love
out
Mimo.
Mimo.
Shout out Mimo. We love her. I feel like she's always been the person that I can go to and that I can talk to when I need her. And I know she's always going to be a listening ear. I always know she's going to be there. Um, Uncle Trent,
Shout
he's
out.
a
Yeah.
father figure as well. I love him. He's always been there for me, and I know he always will be. Duff as well. Um, but yeah, those are my main people.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you making it, you
Mhm.
making it in life, you graduated cum laude.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand like the toll, that you went through to get where you at. So the fact that you still made it out, that's a blessing. And so how do you feel that has affected you now, right? As a young adult and growing into womanhood. Like has that made you uh resentful that I miss, or that your mom and I miss so much of your past, or is that giving you a sense of like urgency to try to like regain that, and
Well, I was angry for a long time. I was so angry, not just at you, but at mom, just for putting me through that and me having to see that. So I was so angry for the longest time. And I wouldn't say I'm still angry, but parts of me still, hold that. And I know I shouldn't hold that grudge, but it's just parts of me still have that in me. And but it's made me a better person. Like I've seen what y'all went through. I've seen the struggles. I've seen everything y'all went through, and it just showed me like I don't want that for myself. I don't want that lifestyle. And just seeing y'all go through that, that's not me.
yeah, absolutely. That's so powerful and wise. I wish I was that wise at that age. Man, I was a wild child. And so like right now somewhere, they have a kid that don't have their mom, don't have their dad, whether it be to drugs, incarceration, and they may be feeling some of the same feelings that you have felt or still feeling. Like, what advice would you give to them, real quick, like just to kind of put a smile on their face?
I would say just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. And you have so much love around you. You have so much support than you may know. You have somebody out there who will love you and care for you like your parents couldn't do at the time. And just know that you have a support system. You have that love around you and just keep pushing. And one of my coping mechanisms was to write. If you can, write your feelings down. It has helped me through so much, and I just want y'all to know that if it can help me, it can help you.
Yeah, absolutely. You heard Miss LeDuff. You heard her. And so, privately, um, I have apologized, but publicly, I feel like I embarrassed y'all publicly because people know you was my kid and you carry my last name. And so, it hurts me every day, even till this day, even at being 6 years sober, it hurts me every day knowing that I chose a substance over y'all, right? And I wasn't raised in a broken home or a broken household. Mimo and Papa did everything that they could to make sure that our family not only stayed intact, but that we never went without, right? Um, the 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 f- Me and your mom not being together, like that had nothing to do with you or your brother, or anything else. It didn't happen, but that didn't give me the right to still not be there. You know, I was suffering on the inside with things that I didn't even know existed or I didn't know how to put into words. And so doing those substances, it gave me that comfort, it gave me that peace. But also I had a sense of embarrassment. Like I know I'm not supposed to be doing this and I don't want I don't want, my kids to see me doing this. And to even go further than that, it was convenient to be able to do what I wanted to do, get high, run the streets, be homeless, or do whatever, and not have the burden of I ain't gonna say burden, but not have to have the responsibility of raising a kid. Um, I thought in my mind that was the right thing to do at that time, but now, as I then got older and got wiser and got more secure and confident in myself, that was the horrible thing to do, and I thank God every day that I still get the opportunity to build a relationship with you and your brother, and I get the opportunity to go to your graduations, and I get the opportunity to see you go to your prom, and you know, God say the same. I get to see the day you walk across the stage in college, so I'm sorry for that, and I will fight every day to the last breath in my body to make sure that relationship is top tier, top notch. You know what I mean? I want the best daddy daughter relationship, that I could have. And so, you know, it's a lot of different emotions and a lot of different situations that happen that you probably wouldn't understand, because you were so young. But just know, I mean, I know it's not gonna make it no better, but like I thought about y'all like every day, like I say, whether I was in rehab, whether I was in jail, selfishly enough, I even thought about y'all, before my suicide attempts, which is something that I'm not proud of, but I use that to like help people today and to get over stuff. Um, so, you talked about like abandonment, and finding attention, elsewhere. Like what else, you feel like arrived from like not having me,
Mhm.
in your life? What other I guess problems, issues or anything else that, you know,
Um, I struggled with mental health issues, as you know, and it really took a toll on me. I don't think it stemmed from just that. It was a whole lot of stuff, but I do struggle mentally. And I think that mental health is not talked about enough. It's not. And people don't take it seriously enough as they should.
you know,
And I just think that, you know, I just think it should be talked about enough.
And so what part of it you have the space and free will to talk about it now? Like what part of it do you feel is not talked about enough? And if you comfortable using your own personal experiences, like that's fine too. Um,
I think self harm is not talked about enough. I think that it's not taken very seriously, and it has affected so many teens in the U.S. as we know, and not just in the U.S. worldwide.
yeah,
It has affected so many teenagers, and it could stem from parents' drug use. It could stem from trauma, past childhood trauma. It could stem from anything. It's not just one experience that can lead to that, and I think that's the most important thing.
right. Um, you are single, right?
Yes,
I just had,
yes,
I
I'm
just had to
single.
throw that out there to make sure. Gotcha. Yeah, y'all see that my baby's still single, and so it's gonna come to a point where I'm gonna have to let you go, and you gonna have to get with a dude. But do do you feel like some of the things that happen in your childhood from your father, do you feel like that could help taint your choices in men, or do you feel secure enough in yourself and your higher power that you call God that you'll make the right decision?
um, well, the reason I am still single is because I will not let a man get close enough to me. It's just, and it has something to do with the abandonment. It's just like if my dad was so willing to push himself away, you know, why wouldn't another man do that?
Right.
You know? And it's like that's why I'm still single is because I will not let a man get close to me. It's just it feels so weird to accept love and to accept that you love me for me. I'm gonna try not to cry.
It's
Not to
okay.
cry.
It's a safe space. Let it
But
out.
it's so hard to just accept love from a man because it feels wrong. It feels like I shouldn't have that from no man, that no man will give me what I need truly, and no man will understand what I need, and they can't give me that. So that is why I'm still single, guys.
You hear that, guys? Y'all future is in my hands. So you might as well quit trying if you thought about it, right? You heard it here first. Um, and so you briefly brought up the teen suicide stuff and the numbers and the rates, and that's something that's personal
Mhm.
to you. Or are you comfortable sharing about those situations, or
Um, yeah, I have suicide is a very sensitive topic for me. Um, I've thought about it just like mostly every teen in America has.
right?
It's just I never went through with it because I know I have people who love me. I
Yeah.
know I have that support system. And no matter how down I feel, no matter how sad I might feel that day, I always know tomorrow is going to be a better day. And suicide is not the answer. Suicide is not the answer, guys. It's
Man.
that is the worst thing that you can do. You are hurting so many people, and that's causing more harm than you may know. So,
And I mean that's coming. I'm not gonna say you've had the worst life in the world,
yeah.
because even in the midst of the chaos, you have had some beautiful moments, and
Hmm.
you have had love from both sides of the family, and so hearing that coming from somebody who, in some people's eyes, could be justified to be like, you know what, my parents did this, like none of it, like this. I've been robbed of a childhood. Like I don't even want it no more. It could have very easily thrown it away, and I'm so glad you didn't, because that would have ruined me. Um, and so your relationship with Mimo, like we call it, y'all call it
Hmm.
Mimo, I call it
Yeah.
Gmo. My mom, your Mimo. How did that relationship start? How has it helped you? What it's like now? Let's kind of go through that relationship.
Well, ever since I was little, we've had a good relationship, as you know. Like, she has been my rock. Like, she is the one person that I can go to crying and screaming and just having the worst day, and she can turn it into the best day. Like, even now, I can go to her saying anything, and she'll know what to do. I can go to her with any situation and she'll know how to solve it. She's just always been the person that I can go to when I need her.
Yeah.
She's always been that person.
Yeah, y'all was both crying at your graduation. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's over now. Y'all cried at the end when we was walking out.
I can't help it. It's a sad moment.
Well, I
But
mean, it was tears of joy.
yeah.
It was beautiful. And so like everything that I do now, right from April of 2019 until now, everything I have done has been with the best for y'all best interest at heart, right? Whether it be with Miss Kayla, the woman that I chose to marry and having y'all life, just decisions that I make with work, like everything. It just it's y'all best interest at heart. So for a father out there that's wanting direction and understanding, what advice would you give him on how to rekindle that relationship? Or mother that's
Mhm.
watching, what advice would you give them to try to start rekindling or repairing that relationship that they, tarnished with their kids, coming from a child's perspective?
I think it's the small things. Like not buying your child something. That means nothing, in my opinion. Buying materialistic things, that means nothing because that stuff you can just give away at the end of the day.
Right.
It's the small things like just spending time together. Just spend time with them, Just going to their game if they play sports or um just do things with them. Go into the park, having a little lunch, just spend time with them. And I feel like that can go such a long way. Sending a text good night, sending a text good morning, just talking to them, having phone conversations. That's the most important thing. It's the small things that matter.
Y'all hear that? I'm giving y'all the game. Well, my baby's giving y'all the game. I'm here to give her the space to give y'all the game. And so, at any point of from your childhood to me getting sober, and your mom getting sober, was at any point to where you was like, nope, like I don't want to hear from him. I don't want this. I don't want that. Like I'm just done with it.
Yes. Like I've said, I was so angry for such a long time, especially at my mom. I don't know why. It's because she was always there. Even after she got out of prison, it's just she was still there. So I still had to live with her. I still had to see it. I still had to be around it. And I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just so done. And with you, since you stayed away, it was easier for me to close myself off from it because I didn't see you.
Right.
So it was easier to be like, you know what? I want no part in it, you know? But at heart, I'm still the biggest daddy's girl I've always been. No matter who said anything about you or talked about you, I defended your name like no other. I still will.
I believe it.
Um, but yeah, there was parts where I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I can't do it. And just getting phone calls from my mom when she was in jail, I did not want to talk to her. Um, I was so angry. I was so angry. It's just that part of me, I was just so tired of the back and forth, saying you're gonna get sober and then you're not,
Yeah.
and then saying it again and then you're not. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words, y'all.
Say it again for him, baby.
Actions speak louder than words. And just do right by your kids. That's the most important thing. And for any kid out there who is feeling angry, that'll pass. Just parents, do better for your kids. Do better.
And I know parents probably like, I'm trying. It's just so hard. And it is, but I had to dig down deep and be like
Mhm.
this is worth it. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? I had a epiphany, and the previous episode that aired last week, with Greg Greer, and he was like, nobody could force me to get sober, right? It wasn't. I never was like, oh, I got kids at home, like I need to get sober because I was so far gone and it just it had a hold on me. But then one day something just clicked and was like I need to do better. And so once I got it out of my system and got my spirit lined up, I'm like, bro, I got kids at home like that need me. And so that was all the motivation that I needed, to just keep going and keep pushing and keep striving and, not trying to make up for the years and years that I blew, but just try to make right now count, and like you said, like showing up to stuff, that's why I try my hardest to show up to everything y'all got, or be the first one there, or make sure y'all know I'm there. Because I think we briefly had this conversation when you was like, I don't need you buying me stuff, Daddy. I can buy my own stuff. That hit me so hard. I say, oh, she's like, I don't care if you, I mean, it's cool if you bring me to get my nails done. It's cool. But like, I want you, silly. I don't want your
Mhm.
money. I got my own money. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
flex then. So I thought that was real powerful that you kind of helped me put that in perspective because I at the beginning of all this and me getting sober trying to be in your life, that's what I was doing. It's like, okay, let me be the one to do this. Let me do this. Let me pay for
Mhm.
this. Let me pay. But when you was like, man, I don't need that. Like I can get that myself.
Yeah,
I
that
was like,
it means nothing.
golly, all
Well,
right then.
it means something because it's coming from you. You're my dad. So
Right.
you doing those things, it means something to me. But I'm not a very materialistic person. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
You just want the
It's
time.
I want the time, I want the attention,
Yeah.
that I've been so badly craving for so many years because little do parents know going without attention from your parent, it can affect you
Yeah.
because then you start seeking it elsewhere. And I'm lucky that I didn't seek it from somewhere that I didn't need to.
Right.
I've seeked it from male teachers, and they were very good teachers. I seek it from uncles. I seek it from family members. Somebody who can give me that I didn't get for so long,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm blessed that you was able to have that structure or those people in your life, while I was getting myself together, trying to figure out what I was gonna do in life. And so we talked about you being angry and not want nothing to do with it. Like what changed? Like what was that? Like, you know what? Like I gotta give them an opportunity.
In a way, I just had to let it go. I had to let that anger go because it was hurting me so bad on the inside. It was eating me up and it made me bitter. It made me such a bitter person. And I knew that I didn't want to be that person. That's not who I am. I'm so like sunshine and
Yeah,
rainbows
you
and
are.
smiley. I was like, this is not me. I had to look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, Naya, that's not you. You're not this bitter, angry person that you perceive to be. Like, you're not that person. So I made a full 360. I was like, I need to change. I need to stop being this bitter person and let it go. And will I ever forget about it? No, but I can forgive.
Yeah,
I forgive y'all with everything in me.
that means a lot. And just so you know, like you justified to feel all that.
Hmm.
You're not wrong for feeling that at all. But the fact that you can sit here when you was not asked to be brought in this world and you were wronged, right? I'ma speak for me. I can't speak for your mom. I wronged you, right? So you had every reason, right? And I would have had to respect that if you be like, I want nothing to do with you. Like I'm good. I'm in school. I'm going here. I'm gonna graduate and I'm gonna
Hmm.
do this without you because like I would have had it would have hurt it. I had to respect it though. Um, but the fact that you was able to like see that at such a young age, feel those emotions, and know you did not want to feel it, and like do something about it, and actually give me an opportunity, that speaks volumes, um, into the person that God made you, right? Because
Hmm.
I didn't have a real hand on like teaching you those values as a kid, um, and so who else you think played a hand in giving you that type of perception on stuff and that strength and that power.
Honestly, I would say my mom. I have to say my mom because even when she was going through everything, that's still my mom. And
Right.
she always gave me advice. Even when she was on drugs, she'd be like, Naya, you have to, you have to do this. You have to get through it. You have to be this person. And I knew who I wanted to be. And I knew that that bitter person was not me. And she could see the change. She saw the change, even when sober or not. And she knew I wasn't that person.
Yeah.
So she brought me out of that. Her, Mimo, Duff, my Nana, all of those people, all of those amazing women, they have brought me out of such a dark place. I cannot thank them enough. I cannot.
Absolutely.
No amount of words can say how much I love and appreciate them.
Yeah. And so, what you got going on right now? You know what I mean? You like you say, we just graduated high school. You know, we going through the associate's degree, and then we're gonna go to Southeastern. And so, what else? What else, my baby, got going on now?
Honestly, it's summertime, so
Hey.
I'm just living it up right now as the days go
You
by.
gotta put that
You
shoulder
know,
down now. That's what the baddies be doing. Don't put the shoulder down now.
but I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah.
I still have my struggles, but I'm just going through day by day as
Okay.
normal as I can be. Just living my life until college starts.
Living your life. That's what's up. And so did me and your mom give you a good example of what you don't want to do when you get to
Yes.
college? Okay.
Yes. Y'all have shown me the do's and the don'ts of what not to do. And
Yeah.
I'm in a way, I'm thankful
Yeah.
that y'all went through that because now I see what not to do and who I don't want to be.
Yeah.
And in a way, this might sound weird, I'm glad you stayed away because I didn't have to see it. And I was still such a big daddy's girl, no matter if you were away or not. I was still the biggest daddy's girl. So it was like you were still there. But I'm just glad I didn't have to see that part of you because I can erase that from my mind.
Yeah.
All I know is the person you are today. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm
Baby.
so proud of the person you are today. And it's unreal.
Thank you. That's probably like the second time I heard you say that, and it feels like heaven just was bestowed upon me to hear that because you can ask Mimo and Duff and Trent and Miss Kayla. I even told your mom a few times, like, everything that I do right now is with y'all interests at heart. Every time I answer the phone for a parent that's struggling or a person that's struggling, it's with the thought that I could try to help them be better for their kids or be better for their kids than I was. Um, I mean, pretty much like my whole life now is dedicated to continuing a safe environment for you and your siblings, and just helping the next person so that somebody else's kid don't have to go through what mine went through. Um, so what, as the big sister, as really the oldest out the whole bunch. I mean, yeah, you're older than everybody. Our oldest of six. Um, what role you feel you played in Jaden's life? Right? Was he kind of watching you for guidance, or was you just kind of shut down from everything and going through your own thing?
I think I was kind of going through my own thing. I wouldn't say I played the mother role, but he knew I was still there in a way. I think we were just going through it separately because he doesn't really speak on it. So
Yeah.
it's like I didn't really know his thoughts on it, and he didn't know my thoughts on it because it was never talked about. As siblings, we're close, but it's not like, "Ooh, I love you, yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
But it's like we don't have that relationship, but we know we're still there for each other when we need to
Yeah.
be. And like I said, I don't think I played a mother role. I just played that big sister role.
Yeah.
And I think I played it pretty well.
Yeah, you did. You
So
played it well. He love his sister too. Jaden just try to be tough and not say it and all mushy. He gonna come around though. But I know how he feel about you. But that's between me and him. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna spread his business. But I'm gonna force him to tell you. So what was, I don't know if you could put yourself back in that space when you didn't have both parents. What was your biggest fear?
um that I would not have parents anymore. That
Like we would be killed
get
to it, or we would
killed,
never come
yes,
back. Okay.
dead. That was my biggest fear is that I would wake up one day and I would get a call that both of my parents were deceased.
Yeah.
And that fear lingered for so long. and it stayed with me because it was just a bunch of what ifs. What if this happened?
Yeah.
What if that happened? And it tore me up from the inside out. And just the thought of losing both your parents, no child should have to think about that. At the earliest age of 7, I was thinking about that at the age of 7. No 7-year-old should have to think, well, what if my mommy and daddy die? Because from what I've seen from my mom, she was going down a path where it was like, will she ever get out of that?
Right.
Will she ever recover? Will she ever snap out of that? And to think about that now, as I'm sitting here as an almost 18-year-old, that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Thinking about that, and it's really changed me. It really has.
And so your fears then at that point, what's your biggest fear? What's one of the fears? I ain't gonna say biggest fears because you don't have a bunch of them probably right now. What's one of your fears that you have right now? Just in general, even if it's not even about me and your mom.
My biggest fear is probably relapsing. One of y'all relapsing, and don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
just
that's an honest fear though.
it's always been a fear of
Yeah,
mine. There's always that what if, and I'm so proud of both of you for getting clean. I'm so proud, but it's always going to be a thought in the back of my mind, just what if they snap? You know what I mean? And it's like it's always going to be there because it's been a part of my life for so long.
yeah,
And it's kind of hard to snap out of that mindset where it's like, oh, they're clean, they're
yeah,
good. But for you, it's been 6 years, you've been doing so good, so good. And it's not like I'm thinking, oh, he's going to relapse.
yeah,
Oh, he's going to relapse. It's just, it's a thought in my brain that it's just, I'm wired that way.
yeah,
Because it's been so long where it was just like you had your drug thing, she had her drug thing. And all I was hearing my entire life was, I'm going to get clean. I'm going to get clean.
yeah.
And I was let down so many times to where in my mind, I was like, there's no way out. There's no way out for them. And that, like I said, that's a hard pill to swallow.
That's see, and I didn't know that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm learning that as y'all hearing it, and
I've never told anybody that.
yeah, that's a powerful one, and I want to give you that security that that I didn't get to give you when you was a child. Um, I'm not God, you know what I mean? I can't see the future, but I can promise you this. Like I said, I am taking every day, not just month to month, week to week, sometimes even hour to hour. I am doing the things to keep me sober. I'm staying connected to God. I'm praying. I'm helping the next person, and I don't even my thought process is different. Like I can't explain it, but the way I view stuff is different. And I know I don't have enough time to like break it down to you right now to give you that security and insurance that you need. But I can tell you that I will dedicate the rest of my life to show you that that's one fear that you don't have to worry about. God forbid, but if my God is the same God that He was yesterday, and I believe He is, and I think you're gonna be okay. You ain't gonna have to worry about seeing me tripping out
That's
again.
good.
You
That's
know what I
good.
mean? That's a that's emotions and thoughts that a 7 year old should not be having at all. And so was that when you was having those thoughts? Were those the times where you had Mimo and Duff and
Mm-hmm.
T Tasha and all those people that you discussed and Uncle Trent, those
Mm-hmm.
were the times when they helped you through that.
Those were the times, and especially Mimo because I was living with her
Yeah,
for a period of time. And that's when I would get the phone calls from mom, and she would just make all these promises while she was in jail
yeah,
for the drugs. And she would make all these promises like, when I get out, I'm going to do better for you and Jaden. I'm going to do right by y'all. And then we'd be let down time and time again. And so to hear those words, they meant nothing.
yeah,
They meant nothing, but I still had my support system. I still had love from other people that replaced that hurt and replaced that pain that I felt on the inside at such a young age. So I thank God every day that I had my circle surrounding me with all this love and affection and attention I so desperately wanted and needed. So I thank God every day that I had them.
yeah. God had His hands on you the entire time, and so once you get into your professional career, you say you want to take up social work, and I believe you're gonna be able to do anything you put your mind to. That is not even a question in my mind. What's what's some of the things like you would want to see change, right? As far as, I'm not gonna say laws, but like you say, mental health is not talked about enough.
Hmm.
Teen suicide is not talked about enough. What is one of your approaches that you would like to take once you're a social worker, or what are some of the changes you would like to see involving kids in those situations?
I want to see less drug use, of course. I want to see less kids in pain. I want kids to be happy. That's the main thing I want. I want them to feel secure. I want them to feel safe in their home. I want them to feel that mommy and daddy is not going anywhere. I want them to feel that their parents are secure in their life. I want kids to feel like they're at home and nothing can hurt them. That's what I want.
So the direction you want to go with it, you want to work more with adults, or you want to be a
Child.
child social
Child
worker?
social worker,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. That's amazing. That is beautiful. And I mean, who better to do that than somebody that's lived it
Hmm.
and was one of those kids? Um, and I'll love to, like I say, put you in touch with anybody once you're ready. I know you enjoying what you did with your shoulder. You enjoying your summer break right now, but once you get involved with that, I know a few people that I would love to introduce you to kind of help propel you and
Of
kind of get you
course.
ready for that field. So what does a day in Naya look like right now? Right? What is the, what y'all say?
Um,
Get ready with me on
yeah, get
TikTok.
ready with me. Well, let's just see. A normal week, I wake up pretty early because I have work. I work at Riverside Kids in New Roads, Louisiana. Um, and then after I get off, I go home, eat, and sleep.
That's it.
That's
That's it.
it.
Simple
That's a
life.
normal week for
That's a
me.
normal
Simple
week for you.
life. That's a normal week for me.
And so, what about the weekend? What you and Riley like
Ooh,
to do?
we like to go to the
Of
mall.
course, yeah. I
We
just
love
ran into my
to.
baby up in there.
I just seen him at the mall, y'all. He was getting shoes, doing his thing. I was like, go ahead with your bad self. But I love just hanging out with my friends on the weekends, just when I can. I
Yeah,
love going to the movies. That's one of my favorite things. I like going to urban air. Oh, I'm a big kid at heart.
really.
Like I love going to urban air.
So
Um,
you really used to enjoy it when we bring you there. I thought you was just
yeah.
enjoying it because
Oh
you had to.
no, I'm a
Oh,
big
okay,
kid at
bet.
heart. I'm
It's lit.
I'm a big kid. But just doing stuff with my friends and family, like that's the main thing I like doing on the weekends. It's just like spending time with the people I love and care about.
Got you. And so, do any of your friends? I know your family members do. Do any of your friends know what you dealt with as a kid? And like, if they do like they come to you for advice or support?
They know certain aspects of it. They just don't know the full story
Got you.
because they don't know how I felt in the moment of everything. I haven't gotten into that. They know about the drug use, of course. I've talked about it because I find comfort in talking to my friends about my situations.
Yeah.
But they don't know the extent of it all. You know, the emotions, the nights where I would cry myself to sleep, just the painful thoughts, the suicidal thoughts. They don't know about any of that. They just know the surface level information, but that's about it.
Got you. I think you are so courageous, and I'm not just saying this because you're my daughter, but I think you are so courageous. I think your voice needs to be heard. Um, I think that the kids are going to have the best advocate that they can have once you take those reins. And don't ever stop telling people your story because you never know like who is going through the same thing you're going through and just don't know what to say. You know what I mean? But God seeing you through your situation, don't ever stop talking about it, which is one of the main reasons why me and Mike we started Built by the Red Stick, is because it's a lot of people out there like us without a voice that don't know who to turn to, don't know how to get started, and like we just wanted to be like that face and that voice for them and make ourselves available, and I genuinely feel that you are going to save way more people and help way more people than I can ever help.
I see
Um,
that.
Yeah, 'cause like I say, just don't stop telling it. Don't stop telling it. Um, and it's almost time. It's almost my. This is. It's not almost. This is my least favorite part of the pod. You know, it's when I gotta shut it down. But what what are three things you would like to leave with a kid that's struggling with abandonment issues or not having their parents or just struggling, period? What are three things that you would leave them with that helped you along the way?
Number one, write. Write your feelings down. I promise it will help. If you cannot talk to anyone, you always have a pen and paper. Talk to people in your circle, especially, and always never be afraid to speak up. Always speak up.
Y'all heard it here first. Naya, aka Noopy LeDuff. Thank you so much for coming, for putting those fears aside and the
Of
nervousness. And you
course.
did great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You slayed. That's what y'all still say, slay?
Slade,
You
yeah.
slayed, baby. Slayed.
Slade.
I love you with all my heart. You know that. And I'm going to continue showing you that every day. And it has been a blessing and it has been a privilege and an honor to be in your life. For you allowing me to come back in your life because you didn't have to. And so I am forever in debt to you for that. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, our time has come. We appreciate y'all. Um, Thank y'all for listening to this episode. Thank you to all the subscribers, to all the listeners, um, any kids out there that's struggling. Just reach out. As y'all can see, my baby is being a voice for people like y'all, parents, or loved ones that may be struggling with drug, alcohol, or having mental health struggles. Please reach out to us. You can reach out to us on the Built by the Red Stick Facebook page. You can DM me on Facebook, Ronnie LeDuff. We just want to help. Allow us to love you until you can love yourself. But until next time, y'all, we'll be back at the same time, with the same place, with the same producer, Built by the Red Stick, built by adversity, led by courage. Hey, she did it with me.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.